It's Wednesday, November 6th. You're watching WGXA Morning News on Fox 24. I'm Victoria DeCardenas.
And I'm Terrell Bailey. Now, we've got your election results this morning, but first we want to take you to a developing story from overnight.
That's right. Monroe County officials say two men were on the run after a chase with deputies last night.
And WGXA's Amaris Jenkins, she's live this morning. So, Amaris, you've been out there on the scene all morning. What's the latest?
Yeah, good morning. I do have an update for you. One of those suspects was caught on this road here you see behind me. That's Peeb Ridge Road in Monroe County. And that second suspect is still on the loose this morning. And officials tell me those suspects actually fired shots at a deputy. Now, Monroe County officials say Eugene Wilson was captured on Highway 41. Authorities are still looking for the second suspect, Justin Donnelly, at this time. But here's what we know. Officials say the chase ended at the first stop just off of I-75 South in Monroe County, and that's rest stop, excuse me. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office says a deputy tried to make a traffic stop on I-75 South at 7:15 p.m. last night. The vehicle took off, leading that deputy on a chase. As the suspects drove down the interstate, that is when they then began shooting at that deputy. Spokeswoman for the Monroe County Sheriff's Office tells us the suspects crashed into a tree at that rest stop near I-75 at the I-475 split. Now, after those two suspects jumped out of the car, they then ran off. A heavy police presence could be seen, including a K-9 team, drones, and a GSP helicopter. Now, officials say if you do have any information on the whereabouts of that second suspect, you are asked to contact the Monroe County Sheriff's Office immediately, or of course, dial 911. I'm Amaris Jenkins reporting live in Monroe County. Back to you.
Thank you, Amaris. And you saw in the background there was nice and clear where she was, but their visibility in Monroe County is down just a tad, only at 7 miles right now. Macon is at 6, so that does mean some lighter fog is beginning to develop in those spots. But you do see Warner Robins, Perry, Cochran, all very clear for now, but these are all areas that I do think fog will be affecting over the next couple hours. Now, another big thing I want to talk about is these temperatures, because that's what's creating some of that fog out there. And a lot of us are seeing temperatures down into the 40s. Dublin is going to be one of the spots that's notorious for fog, and this is going to be a live look there through the Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast network. Overall, things are clear, but you do see that fog developing in the background, and their temperature is at 52 degrees. If they were down at 46, that's when you can expect more of that fog to develop. So that's why Macon and Forsyth are seeing just a little bit more, is because that temperature is closer towards the dew point, and whenever those two numbers are close together, you typically do see fog developing, and that's something that happens during the morning almost exclusively. Now, coming up in just a little bit, I want to talk a little bit more about our rain chances that we can see moving in tomorrow.
Here's a preview of what we'll cover over the course of the morning. Multiple counties had special taxes on their ballots to benefit projects, education, and transportation. We're going to break it down county by county for you this morning. Also, many of you were asked to vote on Sunday alcohol sales. For all these election results, you can tune in right now and always log on to WGXA.tv. But we're going to start with those Sunday alcohol sales from Houston County. Voters in Centerville were asked to decide on allowing restaurants to sell alcohol earlier on Sundays by applying the state's brunch bill rules. This was approved, so now restaurants can start selling alcohol at 11 a.m. on Sundays, 90 minutes earlier than they can now. The brunch bill passes with the 60% of the vote.
And actually, there was a similar item on the ballot in Putnam County for the city of Edenton. Voters there were also asked to decide on allowing restaurants to sell alcohol earlier on Sundays. The brunch bill passes in the area with 66% of the vote. And
Sunday alcohol sales were also on the ballot in Twiggs County. This was also approved with 56% of the vote. Sales of alcohol can now be between 12:30 and 11 p.m. Again, 56% of the vote.
Multiple Middle Georgia counties had special taxes on the ballots just yesterday, and actually here's a breakdown of those taxes and some of the results. We'll start in Bibb County, where voters were asked to decide if a special sales and use tax for education purposes should continue. This passed, so now the money will actually be used to build a new elementary school and a new fine arts facility. Renovations would also be coming to several middle and high schools, and renovations will be coming to Thompson Stadium and all middle school athletic fields. These are actually all the results you're looking at.
And to Peach County now, where voters were asked to decide on two special taxes. We'll start with the Peach County SPLOST. The special tax was approved and will last 6 years and benefit infrastructure in Byron, Fort Valley, and across the county. The latest results are in Peach County, and it says 77% of them voted yes. And take also on the ballot in Peach County a special tax for education purposes. Part of the plans include a new high school. Those results show the eSPLOST was approved with 76% of the vote.
Over in Monroe County on the ballot, there was a tax to be used for transportation projects throughout the county. This morning, we know this did not pass. The tax would have lasted 5 years and would have raised $17 million. Let's get a look at those final results. 52% against it, while 48% were for it.
And officials in Pulaski County hope a special tax benefiting education passes, and they plan on using up to $12 million to work on the infrastructure needs in the county system. And we do have those results. It did pass with 76% voting in favor of it, 24% no.
And a special tax on the ballot in Twiggs County would raise more than $2.5 million over 5 years if approved. The money would be used for infrastructure and city parks. Here are those latest results in that race.
And a special tax in Washington County will raise up to $14 million over 6 years now that it's approved. The funds will be used to purchase emergency radios, road improvements, public safety equipment, ambulances, and make park improvements. The latest numbers on your screen: 65 voted for yes, 35 voted no.
That's right, Victoria. And a similar tax is passed in Wilkinson County that will benefit public safety and infrastructure. It's going to raise $8 million over 6 years. Those are the results right there: 55% in favor, while 45% are not.
And an education tax will also was also on the ballot in Wilkinson County. This was not approved. The funds would have gone to infrastructure in the Wilkinson County School District. The results: 57% opposed, while 43% for it.
Moving along, a second Georgia county had to actually keep the polls open late because of a glitch with new equipment used to check voters' registrations. Lowndes County Election Supervisor Deb Cox said some electronic poll books malfunctioned in all of the county's precincts when they opened for the local votes yesterday. She said backup paper registration lists were used and voters experienced minimal delays. Cox said a judge ordered the county polls to stay open an extra 45 minutes. And right now, as always, we'll want to go ahead and give you a look into your live morning commute. Our cameras are actually live at Coleman Hill. I mean, come on, everybody. Take a look at this breathtaking sunset. This right here should be able to kick your Wednesday off in high gear this morning. Everybody have a great day.
And if you can't tell, Terrell loves those sunrises
I really
every
do.
morning.
I need to put one on my computer screen.
They just make the mood a bit better, don't you think? Well, switching gears just ahead and breaking overnight, a man was found with multiple gunshot wounds right here in Macon. We're going to tell you where it all happened and how you can help law enforcement now.